Grip my hand. I know I can't slide from left to right, but now I don't want to dance. I got too much in my mind, too much in my mind, too much in my nothing. Okay, I'm sorry.
Please tell me you were recording.
Stop.
W-
How
I haven't. It feels like it's been a while since I've seen you. Was I sick the last time you were here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right. Well,
yeah.
I'm feeling
I've also
better.
been going to the gym,
Yeah,
so
I was
I've
gonna
been.
say you're clearly feeling better.
Uh, I might have mono actually, so that's not fun,
This is a hell of a start.
right? Hi guys,
Slower.
welcome to fucking Knicks picks. First off, I just want to say one thing, okay? The first time I was on Knicks picks, okay, after I got off, Nick was like, "Well, he just says like such a looker, isn't he?" All right. Since then, when I'm fucking doing my fucking pull-ups, when I'm sitting there fucking bench pressing, I think about that moment. You fucking bitch.
What do you mean?
Comment this shit now, pussy.
I was being genuine, slower. I was being genuine.
You
Look at
know,
Ben.
okay.
Look at Ben. You tell me if you're a woman, you wouldn't fuck that.
I'd suck his dick. Don't record that,
Slower's energy is fucking insane right now.
dude. It's a pre-workout.
Slower's gonna be here for the entire recap. We're not just doing a Slower segment.
Hey, let's go.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Knicks Picks. It is week 16 of the regular season. I am joined by Ben and I'm joined by Slower. I was just like, fuck it. This is going. I'm so glad I started recording before Slower got here. He's not even in the fucking camera right now. I don't know how I'm gonna edit like the whole like transition thing of my logo of the Knicks Picks thing. I don't know how I'm gonna do all that, but fuck it. We're balling. God, I have a crazy week coming up next week because next week we have to record and edit on Christmas Eve because there's not even a break.
Yes.
So we're not tied anymore,
It's 4.
which is like the largest lead of the season.
To be fair, I thought you were gonna be up by more. If I'm being honest.
Hey, I will take a 4-point lead going into week 16. Let's go through the recap with Slower. Week 15 started off with honestly a really boring game between the Rams and the 49ers. What can you tell us what's wrong with the 49ers? Because me and Ben can't figure it the fuck out.
I unless it's just they're injured.
I can tell you this right now. I don't know who gets more blame, Brock Purdy or Kyle, but one of them's getting exposed right now.
Honestly, horrible. The Ravens went on to beat the Giants. We all saw it coming. Jets did go on to beat the Jaguars, which was the one shining glimmer of hope that Ben had over me this week. Cowboys went on to beat the Panthers, which was a differ. I'm surprised. I was going to challenge that one. I didn't. I ended up challenging something else that still went my way.
The Cowboys were tanking, but all right.
Commanders went on to beat the Saints, really not all that surprising. The Bengals went on to beat the Titans, not all that surprising. Chiefs did beat the Browns, but the biggest thing out of this game, Patrick Mahomes, high ankle sprain. In my eyes, he's doubtful for this upcoming week. They have 2 games in the next 10 days. I honestly think that Carson Wentz beats the Texans anyway.
That's crazy.
No,
There's a hot take. The Texans went on to beat the Dolphins, which was the challenge that I had over Ben, so I ended up getting 2 points for that. This motherfucker picked the Dolphins to beat the Texans. The Broncos went on to beat the Colts, not all that interesting. The Cardinals went on to beat the Patriots, not all that interesting. The Bills and the Lions game was a massive game. That was Ben's challenge. You were so confident in that challenge too. There's no way that the Bills can show out like this again.
I didn't think they were gonna go for an onside with 12 minutes left in the game.
I don't think that
Dan
fucking
Campbell's
mattered.
crazy.
If I'm being honest with you, I don't really think that mattered.
It 100% mattered because they got
They were
them
down 10 already. Dan Campbell is a fucking... That's going to kill them at some point.
Big balls.
I just realized the logos are going to be an issue because I, like, everything... I literally copy and paste, like, from the last weeks to here and then put, like, the scores and stuff. I'm just going to put the logos over you. Bucks went on to beat the Chargers quite convincingly, which is why in our differ I'm a little confused on, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Eagles went on to beat the Steelers. The Packers, congratulations, went on to beat the Seattle Seahawks, who looked like shit, by the way. And then the Monday night games, both games were pretty much what we thought they were going to be, except the Falcons managed to look like shit in a win.
And still win.
It's crazy. That was week 15 in a nutshell. We move on to week 16. But before we do that, he's already here. Look at him. He's pacing around the room. He's just waiting for his chance to talk. Slower's got some hot takes for us. Before we do get into that, I do have a 4-point lead on Ben. It is 161 to 157, I would assume, since I have a 4-point lead.
Ben, pick a number between 1 through 7.
6.9.
Which rounds up to 7, I would assume.
Kirk is not going to be the fucking QB for the Falcons next year. Put in Penix.
Literally, as you're saying that, ESPN notification, breaking news: Michael Penix Jr. has been named the Falcons' starting quarterback.
No shot.
Yes, finally.
I swear to God, I did not plan that. I did not
You
see
couldn't
that.
have. The notification straight up just popped up on my phone.
Wow, I'm gonna win $1 million.
Michael Penix has been named the starting quarterback for the Falcons. They're playing the Giants, so they're gonna win this week anyway.
You're a psychic.
I'm him. I'm fucking 1 for 7 so far. All right.
As high of an energy episode as this has been, that was like perfect.
The NFC Championship game is in reality it's gonna be an NFC North showdown. Not saying who it is, but it's gonna be an NFC North showdown. The only team that you really have to worry about is the Eagles.
So my problem is, and I don't have a problem with the Packers and the Lions being in the NFC Championship game because I think both teams are good enough to make it. I'm not lucky enough to not see the Eagles in the NFC Championship game. I think it's almost certain that they're gonna end up there. I would prefer Packers, Lions. I don't see a world, and this is my hot take, I don't see a world that the Vikings make it past the divisional round.
Depending on their first matchup, they might not even make it out of the wild card, if I'm being honest.
We owe Justin Fields an apology. Caleb Williams is, as of right now, going to have a worse record than Justin Fields has last year with a better team and more weapons. How many more excuses are we going to give?
Caleb Williams is literally the only rookie quarterback who has not developed this year.
And the only other quarterback would just be Penix, but that's because he's now finally started.
In the passing NFL that we've had over the last decade, and not only that, the entire history of the NFL, the Packers have never had a 4,000-plus yard quarterback.
The Packers?
Bears.
I'm sorry, the Bears
good.
have never had a 4,000-plus yard passer. That is crazy to me.
But to be fair, it's less about Caleb and more about Justin Fields. I think he deserves a genuine apology.
I'm just saying, I don't think Justin Fields has done anything to warrant an apology. Caleb Williams could also be shit. And I said that going into the draft.
I think he would have done better with this Bears roster, but I still don't think the Bears would be that good because of the coaching.
And I'm going to talk about my team for a second. I think the Packers just did what they did to the Seahawks, what they did to the Cowboys last year. Seahawks are not going to win another game for the rest of the season, especially with Geno being out, and they're not making the playoffs next year. We officially put the nail in the coffin. Geno is getting older. DK's he's barely playing well. Tyler Lockett is getting old. That defense is not looking good at all. We put the final nail in the coffin. Cardinals are getting better. Rams are right there, and 49ers are having a fucking off year. Seahawks are going to be right back to the bottom of the division. We pulled a Cowboys on the Seahawks.
So I'll say I think you put the nail in the coffin for this year for sure. I think the Seahawks really kind of own their own destiny for this offseason. I mean, the Seahawks could be better than the Cardinals and the Rams next season because Stafford's only getting older. I think the Seahawks could make it back. It's just, you're kind of guessing as to what they're going to do in the offseason. And if they have a good offseason, I think they could go back to being second in the NFC West.
The Vikings. Let's talk about them for a second. Great team, great defense, great everything. Except there's one problem that we all have with the Vikings still. Sam Darnold, sure, he's playing great this year. He has not played a single playoff snap. If he is one and done, and keep in mind, this is his only year on contract, and JJ McCarthy can't play next year, maybe Vikings should just do it and just pull the trigger on Aaron Rodgers and just get it done and have a veteran QB for just one last ride with them. Who says no to that?
Okay, question. Does that mean down the road he has some what was the thing that Brett Favre had, the welfare stuff? Does that mean he does that, but it's like a drug deal?
I think Sam Darnold would be cheaper.
Really?
Oh, 100% he'd be cheaper because damn well Rodgers wants
So if I would say no to that if I was the Vikings. I would just keep Sam Darnold.
Hell, I would even just keep McCarthy at that point. I would just say fuck it. We'll just have McCarthy. If we suck,
even if he goes one and done, fuck it. Your future is technically McCarthy. You're just using Sam Darnold for now until McCarthy's ready to go. I would sign him for a 2-year, $50 million deal.
So he gets $25 million per year. The person that was the MVP for the first 5 games.
Yeah. If he gets a better offer elsewhere, fine. Then you just find another bridge quarterback for 2 years, $50 million.
For Aaron Rodgers.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to take 2 years, $50 million though. That's probably about what they'd want to pay.
I will say if you have Aaron Rodgers, the Vikings are definitely better than with Sam Darnold, but. Is it going to be worth all that? Is it worth the headache?
In 2024, is Aaron Rodgers better than Sam Darnold? Don't give me this whole career bullshit. Like in 2024, is Aaron Rodgers better than Sam Darnold?
I will say this. I think Aaron Rodgers could do better with that Minnesota Vikings roster, but this Jets roster is really good. If he goes to the Vikings, and he still sucks. If he goes to the Vikings and it looks as he does right now or even worse, I'm not saying he's not a Hall of Famer, but he's definitely, his legacy tanks a lot. Like, a lot.
If I'm the Vikings, my answer is no.
The Steelers will never be an actual contender no matter what the record is, as long as Mike Tomlin is the head coach. Look at their record right now. They're what, like 10-4, right? We're talking about the Packers being 10-4, and they're like, yeah, they can be the championship. We're talking about the Steelers. We're saying they might get bounced first round.
If the Steelers could get talent on their team,
they have talent,
and not just where,
like
outside of George Pickens. Talent. Outside of George Pickens, where?
I wouldn't even say
Firemood's pretty good.
I wouldn't even say Pickens. Honestly, I think their only good offensive player, in my opinion, is just Najee Harris.
And even Najee Harris, like, has his down
moments. Yeah. The big thing with the Steelers is they have great coaching with Tomlin because he puts the team in position to win, and their defense. But their defense, I think Watt is hurt, so that's gonna dip your production on defense because he is literally your best player across the board.
Yeah, in my personal opinion, I would say that the only reason that they're 10-4 is because of Mike Tomlin. It has nothing to do with the talent that's on. This is Russell Wilson led.
He's not the reason they're winning, in my opinion, at least.
Right. Last one. We're almost at 30 fucking minutes of recording.
Sorry, bud. Who would win the MVP this year?
Josh Allen.
It's not even close.
If it wasn't a QB award, you know who should really win the MVP?
Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley should really win the MVP. He's going to win Offensive Player of the Year. They're going to pull Christian McCaffrey with him.
He's gonna win Offensive Player of the Year, which is MVP backup.
He's carrying the fuck out of the Eagles.
I
don't care what anyone says.
Or we don't give the Eagles offensive line any fucking credit for how absolutely fucking dominant they've been, minus Jason Kelce.
I mean, yeah, you gotta think. Saquon, in my opinion, hasn't really gotten.
You put any running back.
Yeah,
I'm not saying they're putting up Saquon numbers. Yes, Saquon inflates those numbers because he's Saquon Barkley. I get that. I'm not discrediting that. But you put any running back behind that O-line at minimum 1,500 yards rushing.
Look what Swift had last year. He was like one of the best running backs.
Look what Swift has this year.
And look how he is now in the Bears.
Like, put Tyrone Tracy behind the Eagles offensive line, 1,500 minimum. So like
Barkley's not even really getting touched until
this kind of I'm not trying to like sound so anti Saquon because like I really don't care anymore at this point. Going back to your point from like I don't remember what week it was when you said that running backs are proving that they deserve to get paid.
Like 2 weeks ago.
Are they though? Because like it's only the running backs that are behind fantastic offensive lines that are thriving right now.
Or both.
Look at the Bengals. Look at the Bengals running back. Can you tell me what the name of the Bengals running back is?
Chase Brown.
Do you see what the fuck he is doing?
He's doing pretty decent.
Is he one of the best running backs in the league, talent-wise?
No, but he's
behind a spectacular. He's behind a spectacular offensive line. I guess that's my hot take on running backs. That's at least my vision of running backs because, like, seeing what the Giants are doing this year with Tyrone Tracy, they're getting the exact same production that they were getting out of Saquon Barkley. And now Saquon Barkley is on this new team with a great offensive line and great weapons around him where he doesn't have to be a one-man show. And all of a sudden he's putting up these ridiculous numbers that he's always been capable of doing. You know, I have to give a little bit of credit where else it's due besides just Saquon. But it's the same to do with wide receivers too. Like Malik Neighbors is a beast. We all get it.
The Giants.
But do you realize what his numbers would be if he had a quarterback? It's one of those things where like Saquon's doing really well, but he's being helped out a lot by his team. Whereas Josh Allen, who the fuck is helping him in Buffalo? James Cook.
Besides Cook.
Sorry.
Yeah.
James Cook. Who the fuck is helping in with Buffalo besides James Cook?
I love it.
But that's essentially how I feel about Saquon Barkley now. Like, I'm so happy that he's doing well on another team. I wish it wasn't the Eagles, obviously. This showed what he could have been for the Giants. Like, it literally, like, it's not like he got better this offseason. It's nice to see. But, you know, fuck Philly. That's still my...
Fuck Philly.
Still my stance on that. All right, Slowerr. We got to get to our picks. We're at 32 minutes of recording. I am ready to kill you next week, especially since I have to record and edit on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I get it.
I will kill you. But
That's one.
Peace out.
See you.
Peace out.
All right. Well, a little weird how we did the week so far, but now it's just me and you, so I get the chance to finally ask you, Ben, how you doing?
I just hit my mic, so I don't know if that picked up or not, but going great. I mean, I'm doing better now that Slowerr unintentionally dropped the greatest news I could hear all day about my team. Doesn't change anything.
He manifested that ESPN update.
It doesn't change like anything whatsoever, but
okay, well, we go into week 16. Like I said earlier, I do have a 4-point lead, but we only have 2 differs this week. So unless you want to throw a challenge on one of these differs, I mean, you're still not going to be able to catch up with just points alone, but at least you'll be able to catch up a little bit more. But the most you can catch up is 2 this week, because we only have the 2 differs. All right, we get into our week 16 predictions, and boom, they are up on the screen for you guys to take a look at. Pause the video to take a look for your special little team and see what we said about them. But let's get right into our week 16 predictions, because Slowerr made that super fucking long, and now we're gonna just roll through these. And this week starts with our first differ of the week. It is the Broncos and the Chargers, and I actually was going to pick the Chargers. I'm not going to lie to you. When I was sitting there making my picks, I was considering picking the Chargers. But I went to each team's recent schedule, and the Broncos are on a pretty convincing 4-game winning streak ever since their loss to the Chiefs. And the Chargers are coming off a 40-17 loss to Tampa. And beyond that, they're on like their own little 3 or 4 game losing streak as well. So they're fucking up their chances for the AFC playoffs. This is where a hot team meets a cold team.
If I'm being honest, there wasn't really any games this week where like I was like, oh, this is like a 50-50 where like I could see either team. Maybe the Jaguars and Raiders, but like who gives a shit about those teams? So this was like the one where like, okay, I could 100% see that the Broncos are the better team and the Chargers are in a slump, but the Chargers just win because football. Like there's no analysis. I have no analysis on it. I just think this is just a game that just slips away from a better team, because that does happen unless you're the Chiefs.
So there are 2 Saturday games, and the reason there's 2 Saturday games is because all 4 of the teams that are playing on Saturday are also playing on Christmas. They just kind of flip-flop who's playing who.
Makes no fucking sense, but whatever.
It's Chiefs, Texans, and then Ravens, Steelers on Saturday. We don't have any differs here, although the Chiefs may be without Patrick Mahomes in this game, and I think it's more likely that the Chiefs are without Patrick Mahomes than they aren't, because why play him, really? I still think that they beat the Texans even with their current, even with Carson Wentz in their current roster, but I guess we'll see what happens. And then the Ravens going up against the Steelers. This is the chance for the Ravens to take the lead in the AFC North, and there's no fucking way the Steelers go on to win the AFC North this year. There's no way. I refuse to believe it. I refuse.
I wanted to pick the Steelers just to see that happen, but like I hope it doesn't happen personally. I don't hate the Steelers, but yeah.
Our game. I just want to skip over it. I just want to skip over it. Like I know you're right. This almost never happens. They play like once every 4 years or every 2 or 3 years.
Trash matchup because both these teams are.
And you got Michael Penix Jr. going up against probably like Tim Boyle. Yeah,
I have no idea. Exactly. I didn't know he was on the team.
Exactly.
What's sad is that one of these teams is 2-12. And one of these teams is 7-7, and we both say this is a trash game.
13-6. That's what I have, and I think your score is too high. You don't even have either team above 20. And you know what? I still care. I'm always repping.
I got somewhat red. You can't really tell, but I got some red. But
the Rams going up against the Jets this week is not interesting in the slightest. The Eagles going up against the Commies is interesting because these are 2 playoff teams. You know what? I thought about maybe pulling the upset here and, baiting a challenge out of you just to see.
I couldn't.
But, yeah, I couldn't do it. Cardinals going up against the Panthers is not interesting at all. The Bengals and the Browns isn't all that interesting. The Colts and the Titans is not interesting. Lions and the Bears is not interesting. The Vikings and the Seahawks is not interesting. Bills and the Patriots is not interesting. The Raiders and the Jaguars is not interesting at all, but it's our other differ. Because here's my theory on this. I really want the Giants to get the number 1 pick. And the Raiders need to win a game in order for the Giants to get that number 1 pick. Well, I think the Giants still technically have it, but this will all but solidify it. So, yeah, please. Raiders, go Raiders. Beat the Jaguars.
Go Raiders.
Yeah. The 49ers and the Dolphins isn't too interesting, although I was close to picking the Dolphins. It's ironic that game ended up being a mid-off.
No.
The Bucks and the Cowboys I don't think is interesting, although was close to picking the Cowboys in this one as well. Just a beta challenge because the Cowboys look like they're just like they look like they're trying to make a playoff push.
They're already basically out.
Or, although your theory about not showing out in offense 2 weeks in a row, maybe that could play into factor here. So we'll see what happens. And then the Monday night game between the Packers and the Saints is not interesting because it's probably Spencer Rattlers. Well, because it probably at the beginning of the season, maybe, hopefully, could have been interesting. But anyways. Yeah, not too interesting of a week. A lot of mediocre teams playing some good teams, and a lot of the matchups that are two good teams, we feel pretty strongly that the other team isn't all that good. It is what it is, but that is our Week 16 predictions. We kind of flew through them because Slowerr took a lot of our time, but I hope you enjoyed the energy at the beginning of this episode because there was a lot of energy to start this episode off, and we're ending it with some energy too. That is it for Nick's Picks. Drop a like on the video enthusiastically. Keep that energy going and enthusiastically drop a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we will see you guys in Week 17, which will be, I'm not sure if I'm going to post it on Christmas Eve after I finish editing it or on Christmas Day before either of the games start. But regardless, Merry Christmas. And we will see. I didn't decorate at all, as you can see, this year. No decorations this year. Everything downstairs is decorated. But
I was like, downstairs was decorated for you, but...
Yeah, upstairs is not. Me and Ben had our Christmas party recently. Do you have your Funko Pop on you? I have my Funko Pop.
Oh, I do. I have it. Hang on. I got it. Wait. I got it.
Yeah. Oh, he saw it in the box. What a loser.
Oh, fuck off.
I took it out of the box. Fuck it. That is it for next week. That is it for Nick's Picks. We will see you guys in the next week. Have a great one. Peace. Fuck off, Ben.
5 years and it's still a struggle sometimes.
Yeah, and I'd like to see you do better. Oh wait. We thought, yeah, I can't even speak.
You know what you just did? You did the Kemba Walker where you shoot a three, turn around, thinking you made it, and that you still...
Honestly,
but you know what? At least...
We used up all of our energy too early on, and now it's 9:30 at night, and I'm an old man who needs to go to bed.
Take this lesson, kids. Never blow your load too early. Bye, guys.
Wait, hang on. No, not bye, guys. Come back. Everyone come back for a second. He, in the last episode, or whatever fucking episode, said that Quick was like your middle name or whatever the fuck it was. So, but now you're saying don't blow your load early. You're confusing the children out there who shouldn't know what the fuck we're talking about to begin with.
Wait. When did the children get...
You the one who said, kids. You're like, don't blow your load too early, kids. And then you, bye, guys.
Can we just end it?
Yeah, bye, guys.
Oh my god.